my side on BD. Ain't my side over the sneaky motherfucker, the creepiest motherfucker, you know? Motherfucker get their ass knocked down, fucking stretch.
Dark game shit. Dark game shit, squash.
With the argument, so we create you up.
Squash shit only. Glock boys. Gang shit, GDK. Squash shit, Big Boss on T. My nigga Oblock Booby. Go follow, bro. Squash shit, that white shit, that else. Dark game shit. Dark game shit, squash.
What on, family? It's your boy SN TV, man. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure that y'all subscribe, man. I'm going to get right into it. So, T.Roy. Now, for those of y'all that been under a rock or just started following the drill scene, T.Roy was the best friend of King Von. And we all know of the popularity that King Von had. But what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of niggas in the streets seen T.Roy as way worse than King Von. That's right. They seen him as way worse than King Von. They say that T.Roy was out there getting wild. FBG Lil P or FBG Pressure, he just did an interview. And in that interview, he spoke about how T.Roy used to be reckless and how he was a marksman. He said T.Roy would be, pulling up on the back of pickup trucks. T.Roy would be hiding in grass, and that T.Roy was a marksman. T.Roy didn't miss. He told a story of T.Roy shooting somebody or shooting at some people and hitting two people with the same bullet.
5 feet of trouble. They call him T.Roy. Hops out of trucks like it's nothing. Melts into the grass till you forget he's there. On the south side, people spot that face and they don't ask questions. They run.
Now, we know in the Chicago drill scene, these guys are often sauced up, like my boy 051 Wu said, rest in peace, man. Extra sauce, extra mild sauce. But in the case of T.Roy, his ops all say the same thing about him. Shorty wasn't number like 4'9" or 5 feet. He was like the size of a 10-year-old. You know what I'm saying? But he had the heart of a lion. They said T.Roy used to come through going crazy. And they said that T.Roy was actually way worse than Von. Von even said that he left Oblock for a minute so that he can go catch up with T.Roy in bodies. Now, when you look at all of this shit right here, you got to also analyze the fact T.Roy died on camera in a store, basically for the world to see. Von died on camera, basically for the world to see. T.Roy's killers died in a horrible manner. Most of FBG and STL, most of Oblock died in a horrible manner. It's only a few guys left, and we rarely even hear about them. Your FBG Youngs, your FBG Dutchies, your Oblock E-Dogs, which he gets criticized all the time for still being in Oblock after seeing, 2, 3, 4 motherfuckers make it out and get money and get heavy exposure. I said all that to say this. Karma is real. And the energy that you put out into the universe is going to always come back. Now, some people don't believe that. Some people say, well, I know evil people that do shit all the time, and they never, the universe never gives them they get back. Believe me, y'all. Some way, form, or fashion, they will always get they get back. T.Roy was a product of his environment. He was a gangster. He lived by the gun, and he died by the gun. T.Roy was actually the one who taught a lot of them members, from Oblock 600. Mind you, they were once one. Von claimed Oblock and 600. They were once one. He taught a lot of them members, man, how to kill, how to do shit. Tay talked about how T.Roy told him, don't aim for the head because niggas be surviving headshots. Aim for the chest, aim for the heart. If you hit a nigga in the heart, what could he do? He not going to survive that, which is true. And I think it's very ironic that T.Roy, he ended up getting hit in the heart. You feel me? I just thought that I would bring that to y'all attention, man, that, you know, some of our favorite drill characters, some of the ones who were in these streets, man, fighting these wars, how they died, gruesome deaths, how some of them was, you know, trying to get out the game, but ended up dying before they made it out. You had Boss Trill, you know, he died with a bus ticket in his pocket. You know, you had people like Wu, you know, he was doing everything he could to try to, you know, try to go in the right direction, but the streets still ended up catching up with him. So the lesson is to these shorties, once you get involved in the streets, there is no way out. There's been people that got involved in the streets, lived, left, went to other cities, and ended up getting killed in other cities because their karma caught up with them. So I said that to say this. Instead of you want to be the biggest killer, instead of you want to be the biggest drug dealer, instead of you want to be the biggest drill rapper, find something safe to do with y'all life, man. Straight up. Find something safe to do with y'all life, because the life expectancy of a Chicago gangbanger is only probably like maybe 20 years. You may live to see 20, but most of those guys didn't live to see 20. Most of those guys died around, you know, anywhere from 14 to 19. So let that sink in. Real talk. Anyway, make sure that y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure that y'all subscribe. Y'all already know, man. The greatest drill blogger to ever walk the face of the earth, man. It's your boy SNTV. I'm out.